Hey, happy pre-Thanksgiving Eve, if that's even a thing. But this is the Barren Christian Church, Wednesday night 8 o'clock Bible study, and my name is Brian. So let's get started. All right, get your Bibles out. We have started a new miracle called the miracle of the barren fig tree. Last time, before we did this, we did the parable of the fig tree. Not the same. There's some interlocking teaching in there, but they're not quite the same. And then after this miracle, I'm going to do another parable about the parable of that barren fig tree. Once again, not the same thing, but they all interlock. That's why I'm going to do all these three all together. Now, last week, I wanted to do what? I wanted to set the scene. Why this miracle came about that Jesus did, because it's better to understand why he did it than just to give you the answers. And so I went over like I said, I set the scene of why he did it. And we looked there in Matthew 21, which is where we're at. The actual miracle is found in verses 17 through 22 or something like that. But we got to go all the way back to verse 1 to get the context here of what's going on. Look at Matthew 21. Let's get started here. It said, when they draw near unto Jerusalem and were to come to Bethphage. Bethphage, okay, so he's going to come from Bethphage, and his next move is to go right on down into the city of Jerusalem, the city of worship. But Bethphage gives us a huge clue. It gives us a message that God's going to try to send us what's going on here, because Bethphage means house of the green fig. And if you think about last parable that we talked about, the fig tree, and I went over many, many verses to prove it to you. The fig tree represents the nation of Israel. Always has, always will. The land of Israel, the people of Israel, the nation of Israel. And we learned that in the last parable of Matthew 24, when Jesus gave that parable out of the fig tree, we learned that he said that when you see the branches tender and putteth forth its leaves, what do we find out? He said that that's when we know that the Messiah is coming. But that's a second coming parable. Okay, so but Jesus is coming. He's on his way. Came back on? All right, here we go. So talking about Bethphage, house of figs, and so he's going to go down to Jerusalem. And so if the parable of the fig tree meant nation of Israel and the Messiah is coming, then I guess a green fig that's just getting out on the tree would represent that Christ is here. And then if the figs are ripe,